It is my honor to take the helm as your captain this morning and lead this summit, where we explore what it means to dare to lead. For years, I've actively used my voice as an advocate for women empowerment and leadership. But today, I do not just join you as an advocate for this cause, but as your compare, the master of ceremonies. Distinguished guests, our visionary women and our elite women that are seated here. How can I forget to mention, we said, come looking classy and elite. And guess what? All of you understood our assignment. Please, let's celebrate that with a deserving applause. My name is Augustina Augustine, the Golden Voice, as known in Port Harcourt City. And today, not just for me, but the speakers that have been selected to take us to a new dimension where we embrace our best versions and become the best self yet. This is the start of that journey. And I want to assure us that it's going to be an adventurous and interesting ride. So I want us to fasten our seat belts because we're definitely here to learn, to break barriers, and of course, to shatter glass ceilings. There's no greater time than now to evolve, shatter glass ceilings, and dare to lead. And the SHEvolve Summit aids at empowering women to embrace their evolution, to unleash their potential and multiply their impact. This is more than an event. It is a movement, and it is here to definitely stay. Without further ado, I'd like to bring up on stage the pioneer and the brain behind this program. If you're ready, I want us to put our hands together until she gets here on stage. By now, you should know who I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The pioneer and the brain behind the SHEvolve Summit. A woman that has been blessed by God. Our visionary leader who is also dedicated to uplifting lives and inspiring women. Join me welcome Dr. Ezinne Okwulehie on stage for her welcoming address. Please keep clapping until she gets here on stage. Dr. Ezinne is behind the setup of every speaker that is definitely coming here on stage. But guess what? When we're talking, she told me, Tina, I want every speaker to come and dance before they talk. And guess what? I had to set her up for that. Please, let's have her music. Good morning, everyone.
A very good morning to you, every single person. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Please put a round of applause for yourselves. So while we wait for the intro to be played, I want you to turn to the person beside you and say, you made the best decision to be here today. No, I want you to say it like you mean it. Say, I am so proud of you. Just look at you. All demure, all mindful. I see that you're already transformed already. Please, may I have your number? Because the caliber of woman that you're going to become shortly is nothing like I've ever seen before. Put your hands together. My God, it's so beautiful to stand in the reality of a dream and of a vision. Standing before me is the power of a compelling vision. And I am so proud of you for joining me to birth this vision, because without you, there is no vision. Put your hands again for yourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Standing here and just looking at these phenomenal women seated, all resplendent, the view is beautiful from here. You all look beautiful. You all look magnificent. You all look classy. And you all look elite. If you are that elite woman, celebrate yourself this morning. Celebrate yourself. I am so grateful for every single person who have made it here today. Every single person listening to me, you're a VIP. Quickly, I want to really appreciate my loving husband who is seated here, who took the opening prayer, Pastor Ezinne Okwulehie. Thank you so much, because without family, I doubt I'll be able to pull off this. I want to thank my beautiful son, Perez Joshua Okwulehie, who told me, very interestingly, I was driving him back from school, and then he saw the billboard. I said, "Mommy, that's you." I said, "Yes." Do you know the next question he told me? He said, "But you didn't tell me we were doing a billboard." Do you know what that means? It means that he has been part of the journey every step of the way. So I want to thank you, Perez Joshua, for the times I was absent when I should. Thank you for according me that grace. You see, what is going on today is something that I may never have dared to do. A few years ago, I had a very traumatic experience. I had a very bad and sad experience a few years ago. Some people have heard my story, and other people will be hearing my story for the very first time today. And the full weight of my story is reflected in my book, the SHEvolve book. Do yourself to make sure that you get a copy before you leave here today. And so a few years ago, I had a very traumatic experience. I suffered the loss of twin babies I waited 8 years for. Copy that. 8 years for. And when I mean I suffered the loss, I mean that I had got into my second trimester, I think around 6 or 7 months. And I lost those babies after waiting for 8 years. Of course, with multiple medical procedures preceding that. When I had that experience, it robbed me of everything. It robbed me of my sense of identity. It robbed me of my sense of purpose. It robbed me of my sense of living or becoming. It robbed me of everything that made me me. I lost my sense of self. I lost my sense of purpose. I lost my sense of anything you can think about. And I questioned everything. I questioned my existence. I questioned my friendships. I questioned my purpose. I questioned the validity of life. I questioned interestingly, I even questioned God. Is there really a God that will sit in heaven and watch his child suffer? So I was bare. For some of you, you may understand what I'm saying because somebody listening to me in this hall may have had a similar experience. But for some other person, you may not have had that kind of experience, but you are empathetic towards that story because you are a woman and you carry a womb and you understand what it means to go through that kind of loss. What I used to define that kind of loss that happened in my book was that I called it a disruption because it disrupted my entire life. I questioned my motherhood. And for everybody listening to me, you may not have had my own experience, but every woman has a point in her life where she is interrupted by a disruption. A new job, the loss of a job, the loss of a spouse, a divorce, whatever you want to call it, a new appointment that questions your sense of authority and leadership. It's a disruption. Anything that is out of the usual, that presents itself with a negative implication, as it were, is a disruption. And I had a choice, actually, to lean into that disruption and let it define me, or to use the disruption to refine myself. And so I left the city where I was as at the time, which was Port Harcourt, because I couldn't stay here. And I went to another city. For 3 months, I was away. I left the city where I was, but the questions never left me. It followed me on a one-way ticket to where I was. And I kept having those questions. I had negative thoughts, and I know that you can imagine what that is. It was a terrible experience. I wouldn't wish for anybody anywhere at all. It was terrible. After 3 months, I came back to the city because you cannot run forever. That's a word for somebody. You cannot run forever. Whatever that disruption is, a divorce, pain, hurt, betrayal, a new job, a new appointment, something that you're not used to. You cannot run forever. So I came back to the city where I was, and I had to build my life piece by piece, block upon block. until I became this woman I am today. Today you're seated here because I want to show you the process that got me from that woman that was ashamed, that was broken, that had no sense of self or purpose, to this woman that you are seeing here today. Because between a disruption and a manifestation is a process. And that's why you're here today. And that is why I have brought these phenomenal speakers who have experienced certain challenges and also disruptions in their own life, for you to lean into their stories and draw out wisdom that you can apply to your own life. When we say SHEvolve, it is not a suggestion. It's not a figment of my imagination. It's a movement. It's an agenda. It's a divine programming for every woman on the surface of the earth, starting from the women in Port Harcourt. There is a narrative said about the people in Port Harcourt. How many of you know what I'm saying? But that narrative ends today. It ends today. The women in Port Harcourt are becoming women that are more intentional about their personal development, about their healing, about their leadership. It's not about bone straight and makeup. While those things are good, they are ephemeral. There is something that is more weighty, and that is what the speakers are going to hand to you today. And I know that you are wondering, what is this SHEvolve? Why SHEvolve? Is because the time is now. Kairos is now. If you help me with my slides, please. I would just like to show you in few minutes why SHEvolve. Because there is a reason. Every time there is a vision, it answers to a problem. Any vision that doesn't answer to a problem is a selfish dream. I'll say that again. Any vision that doesn't answer to a problem is a selfish dream. The best thing you can do for yourself, and that person is not here, is to wake up for that dream, from that dream. So all this led to the birth of what we call the SHEvolve Movement. Like I said, it's a movement. It's moving, starting from Port Harcourt, heading to Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, Uyo, Calabar, the continent of Africa, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and worldwide. Trust me, in the next 10 years from now, you may be attending this conference outside the country. Do I have people who are with me here? Thank you. So it led me here. And why SHEvolve? I told you that there is a problem. If you would help me, if you can see from where you are, please read this. And if you cannot see from where you are, read me your life to visit my medical facility. All right. Can we read this together? That's the problem. That no longer serves their purpose. They struggle to initiate the personal growth needed to evolve into their best selves. How many of you can identify, even if it was before? I was there. So please, can you just lift up your hands? You identify with this problem. How many of you think it's a problem that needs solutions? Can you take me to the next slide, please? And so these are the results. This is the result of the problem. That's the seed. This is the fruit. There is a deep sense of dissatisfaction. You are sitting in a C-suite office with a very good paycheck, but you are depressed, you're sad, and you feel unfulfilled. You have children. You thought marriage would be the problem. You got married. It didn't solve the deep sense of dissatisfaction. You said, if I had children, I will feel better. You have 5, you have 4, you have 3, you have 2, and you only feel worse. There is a problem, a deep sense of satisfaction. Nothing seems to bring you through joy anymore. Not a well-paying job, not children, not marriage, not even friendships either. The things that used to give you joy suddenly loses its savor. Come, let's hang out. Sounds like come, let's go and rob a bank. How many of you, are you feeling me? And then there is another one. Unfulfillment, a deep sense of unfulfillment is obvious. It sometimes results in self-loathing or even depression, and more so, and even worse in this day where we have easy access to painted pictures of what people's lives look like, not what they actually are, aka social media. And so you go through social media, and then you go back, you stand in front of your mirror, and you're like, you see this is your life. You are not doing anything in this life. Something is wrong with you. A deep sense of unfulfillment. Apathy, a general sense of apathy and distaste for life in general. Nothing brings you joy. That's the result of the problem. I was there. You're like, why should I leave? What's the use? Nothing. Interestingly, some people actually, put on a facade. So they try to solve this problem with an expensive hairdo, with good makeup, with a great social circle, but deep down, they feel like charlatans because it's not original. It's not original. Because outward adornment will not solve what inner transformation is supposed to solve. It will not solve it. And so we move on to the next slide. The question is, so what do we do? There is a problem. Look at the seed or the fruit coming out of the problem. What do we do? A paradigm shift is needed. Turn to your neighbor and say, a paradigm shift is needed. AKA a change in perspective and a change in mindset. Because if it will not happen in your mind, it will not happen anywhere else. The greatest and deepest type of transformation is not a transformation that happens outside, it's the one that happens inside. That is why no matter how much, while people, if you love plastic surgery, it's please fine and good. You can actually look good. But if the intention is to solve a need that is internal, it is dead on arrival. Where women are free from the constraints of past successes, because when we say evolve, you can't look at your life and say, I'm doing well. I'm okay. I think I've got it all together. But allow me break this news to you, that wherever you're operating in right now is the least version of who you should be. Until we die, there is always room to be more. There is always room to evolve. So tell me what you're doing now. Tell me your accolades. Show me your accomplishments. And I will show you a woman who can do more. And that's what we do sitting in the coaching room. To expand your picture so that your success, instead of being a propelling factor, does not be that hindering force, causing you to stagnate and to be stuck. When we talk about being stuck, a lot of people think about being stuck in pain. But you can be stuck in success, a level of success. You can be. And so when we say evolve, we are saying we get you, you're successful, but we are saying that there is more. We get you, you have a company. We are saying that you can actually scale that company into the African continents. We are saying that you have a ministry, but we are saying that you can take that ministry into where people are not even aware of that even exists. That's what we are saying. We are saying that I have children, and we are saying that you can actually evolve to be the mother that doesn't just have children, but that is raising nations. They are two different things. They are two different things. Because when you understand that we were not created to bear children, but to raise nations, even the way you train a child changes. You see that child as a nation, and then you know that if you are not careful in their raising, you will circumvent a nation. Somebody said to me, I'm raising nations. I am not raising children. And so how are we going to do that? We are going to do that through learning, understanding the importance and principles of personal evolution and how it's pivotal to self-actualization and personal fulfillment. Any transformation, I don't care where it is, in an organization, in a country, in a place, is benchmarked and dependent upon personal transformation. There is no national transformation without personal transformation. There is no organizational transformation without personal transformation. There is no marital transformation without personal transformation. And that is why a marriage cannot get better except the two people agree that we must transform ourselves. It's as easy as that. The next one is mastery. We must gain mastery on the strategies for systemizing personal reinvention. What that means is that your personal reinvention is not a one-off adventure, a one-off event. It is strategic. It is systematic. It has structure to it, so that you know per quarter what you are developing yourself on. Because what you are developing yourself on may not be what I'm developing myself on. I may have cracked it in business, but I may be failing in my marriage. And so it would be foolish of me to be attending business seminars. When I'm hurting, I should be going to see a psychiatrist and transforming myself from inside. Because when we focus on what is, I'm not saying you should focus on just the weak, but I'm saying when you focus only on what is going well and ignore what is bleeding, my coach will say that the bleeding area will find a way of now affecting the one that is blossoming. Women, I know you know what I'm saying. So you see a senior executive that is having it tough at home, and having relationship issues or having issues that are coming from childhood, and you're wondering, I used to know her, she used to do so well. How come she's here now? What happened is that what was not given attention paid attention to what was working. So we must get the intelligence, the know-how to sit like the CEOs of our lives. Enter our lives like CEOs, give instructions and quarterly updates to every area of our lives, and ask that area, are you evolving or are you just being stagnant? Selah. Systemizing personal reinvention, purpose fulfillment, and the execution of a compelling vision. Every person seated here listening to me, you have a vision. As long as you are created by God, God never created any human being without a vision. Pain may have caused you to, ignore that vision. The vicissitudes of life may have caused you to put a pause on that vision. But the vision doesn't fail. It has a voice and it will always speak. And if the vision doesn't speak, you're going to be marinating in unfulfillment and sadness. And so there is a mastery on the strategy for executing vision, just like you're sitting actually in the execution of a compelling vision. And I didn't do it alone. I would have my time to actually appreciate those. The next thing is to have a catalytic community, a tribe of forward-thinking visionary women who are constantly evolving and living powerfully and purposefully. You see this one? It is so important. Never underestimate the power of association. There is no association that doesn't leave with you a deposit. That you are aware of it or not is really inconsequential. And that is why you cannot be emotional in deciding who will travel life's journey with you. Rather, you must be intentional in deciding who will travel life's journey with you. Because the people who will help you live a purposeful and compelling life may not dress the way you want them to dress, may not speak the way you want them to speak, but they are important to your destiny. Find them, and when you find them, make sure you stay there. Allow me to go biblical for a second. How many of you know the story of Saul and when he lost his donkeys? And the prophet, not Saul. Was it Saul? Yes. And the prophet Samuel asked him, go look for the donkeys. How many of you have an idea of that story? Oh my God. Okay, thank you. I'm safe. When I read that scripture, it was interesting to know that Samuel said, as you go to look for the donkey, in other words, you are going to look for something. Everybody is looking for something. He said, on your way, you will meet a company of prophets. When you meet them, you are not of the tribe of prophets. You didn't go to prophetic school. But he says, when you meet them, don't even pray for the prophecy to come upon you. He said, all of a sudden, the spirit of prophecy will rest upon you by association. There is something that you will not pray for. Just by being with people, it comes upon you. And so you must intentionally place yourself in a catalytic community. And a catalytic community is not, you don't place yourself by followers on Instagram. You don't go and say, okay, this person has 1 million followers, therefore she can be my friend. The interesting thing is that your mentor at your next level may just have 10 followers. But because you are so caught up in the mundane, you cannot tap into what God has for your life. Today, I call you higher into a place that moves above just the physical eyes to see what is really embedded. Some people sitting beside you are your next level, but you are looking at the shoe, the hair. Is she my level? You will soon know when you lose the level. God forbid. I don't know why I'm feeling like I'm not in church. Let me calm down. I wanted to say no man after the flesh, but still take that one. All right. And then can you take me to the next slide? What are the tools? Because we are all part of it and every of you have a tool. You see this problem, we are all going to solve it. That's what you don't know. I'm only part of the people solving it. And I'm showing you my own tools. Best believe when we meet next year, you will show me your own tools. Why is that? There's no faith. Why? All right. The first tool, my tool, is the SHEvolve book, which we are launching today. The SHEvolve book, a self-help book for women to embrace and manifest their highest potential, purpose per time. The SHEvolve manifestation workbook, an excavation tool for personal reinvention and evolution. The third one, someone let me read the third one. Read it now. It means you are sitting in the tool. Put your hands together for yourself, which is a yearly gathering of visionary women to learn, grow, seize opportunities, and network. And then we have courses, webinar, and resources. Please keep your ears open because there is a course called the SHEvolve Activation Intensive that is launching today. When they send out the links, don't even wait and second guess. No, don't do that. The same way you rush Bone Streets is the same way you should rush that course. Remember what I told you, internal transformation over external transformation. And then the next slide, please, if you don't mind. And so the SHEvolve book is an invitation to your best self. So our slogan for this conference, when I say SHEvolve, you say yes to my best self. Can we go? SHEvolve. SHEvolve. I love it. The topics include healing, identity distortions, identity framing, choices, mindset, growth, purpose, personal fulfillment, vision, leadership, and more. That's what you see. That book is not a book, it's an experience, it's a deliverance of its own. And I'm not saying because I wrote it. I want you to pick the book, send me a mail, and tell me what happened to you. The next one. And finally, we are here today at the SHEvolve Summit, the maiden edition of the SHEvolve Summit, and we have titled it Dare to Lead. And when we say dare to lead, please don't quickly think that you're looking for who to lead. We're talking about self-leadership. That leadership that hands you the courage and boldness to step into the next. That leadership and courage, that leadership that hands you the courage to step into your healing, to choose you, to say yes to your best self. And we are holding it here at the YJ Hall today, the 8th day of February, 2025. Somebody put your hands together for yourself. While I was speaking, a notable woman of substance walked in. I just didn't want to break the flow. If you don't clap, I'm not going to, do what I want to do. Please keep clapping. Please keep clapping. I want to specially honor and recognize the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Rivers State, Dr. Ezinne Okwulehie. Thank you so much, Ma, for honoring the SHEvolve Summit. Thank you so much, Ma. I know that you know my heart. I am so grateful to have you here. Can we just be on our feet as we do one last thing before I go take my seat? So this will be handed to everyone who came for this summit. We will send it to your mails, but we'll do it together. Can I have? So this is the SHEvolve 2025 affirmations. See, when you are saying these affirmations, I want you, it's not your regular affirmations. These affirmations have been cooked, if you get what I mean. I want you to say it with intention. I want you to say it prophetically to yourself because it's what is going to happen to you. Can we go? 1, 2, go. Today is a great day and an important day in my life and destiny. It is the beginning of new powerful realities, and I will respond with full attention, not just to what I am hearing, but what is happening on my inside. Throughout the duration of this summit, I position myself to be transformed by revelation. I will not be inundated by information. This moment in time is pivotal. This is a defining moment in my life and destiny that will deploy seasons of greatness and manifestations. Let me say that so you can reply. I need you to say it. Say with me, this is a defining moment in my life and destiny that will deploy seasons of greatness and mega manifestations. Therefore, I submit myself wholly to the process that births the new. Somebody say, I receive courage, boldness, and audacity to take on the new. Say, I will not be so defined by my past that I abdicate the future. I will not be so attached to the old that I forfeit the new. Someone say, my commitment to my future is greater than the work it takes to manifest it. I want you to say it again. Somebody say, my commitment to my future is greater than the work it takes to manifest it. Say, I choose the new. I refuse to revolve around the same circle of mediocrity. Say, I refuse to revolve around the same circle of pain, hurt, and betrayal. I refuse to revolve around the same circle of accomplishments. I refuse to revolve around the same circle of excuses and smallness. Somebody say rather. Say rather. I evolve. Say I evolve. I evolve from pain to purpose. From brokenness to wholeness. From small paradigms to superior perspectives. From smallness to greatness. From mediocrity, somebody said to mega doings. No, you didn't hear me. I said to mega doings. Somebody say, I evolve from existing to living. Say from darkness to light. From success to fulfillment. From excuses to results. From fear to courage. Somebody say from this version of me to a more powerful version. 2025 is my year of mega, manifold manifestations. It is not just because I said it, but because I am responsible. Somebody say, I will put in the work. I will put in the work. Say, this is the year where I will no longer give excuses for the small places that I have been in life. Say with me, I will pay the price to evolve into a new me. The kind of woman who manifests mega results. This is the year where that which has been hidden in the soil will no longer be hidden. Will no longer be hidden. Rather, it will rise and be seen as an intimidating edifice. I reckon that I am presently living in the consequences of the choices I made yesterday. Turn to your neighbor, say, so today, right here in this room, I consciously make a choice to say yes to my best self. I am she that evolves.
Thank you so much. Are we ready to evolve? Because there's absolutely more coming our way. We have illustrious speakers that will be taking us through this ride to SHEvolve.